some of you.
Ready to go, are we?
Good to go. How you doing, folks? Welcome back to V&M Podcast. Episode 5, isn't it?
Episode 5, aye.
Glad to have you all back, folks. This week's sponsor, we want to give a good shout out to, first and foremost, is LK Bikes. Massive shout out to Mark and Gavin and the lads out there for sponsoring this episode. Appreciate it very much. Nice of lads to get on board. Also, I would like to say a big shout out to our very special guest here today, Mr. Christopher Redman.
Redman? Redhead, is it?
It's Redhead.
Redman.
Sounds like a wanking porno.
No,
Redhead.
I says to him, I'm going to call you Chris Red. And then I was just saying, this is Chris Redman.
Is your head red?
Know what I mean, man?
Redhead.
Depends how long about it.
So your second name is Redhead?
Yeah, sort of got
Fucking, I can't believe that.
I know why.
Why is it Redhead?
My grand is English.
Why is it?
Bird, like.
Oh, so no one actually come up
Your
with
grand is English and a redhead. What are all the redheads are from Ireland?
1/4 person.
Now, folks, glad to have Christopher on.
Did he touch the mic?
Thanks a million for. I'm not going to touch it now. Right on. I'll put my hands on my nice.
Put your hands in your.
My nice hoodie that we got made. Do you like them? And look at Mary's t-shirt.
F&M or M&V.
We got some merch made, folks. We're not selling it, but if you want to buy it, we'll sell it to you. No, we got some classed stuff made.
From Wish?
No, not from Wish.
I'm only joking.
We got it from C&M Embroidery. Shout out to them boys too.
Well done, lads. Thank you
Also,
very much.
We got cups made. Nice ones. People were giving out to Mary last day about me slurping on the fucking thing. Like, who the fuck slurps?
Now, welcome to the show, Chris.
Welcome, Chris. Chris Redman.
Tell us a bit about yourself there, Chris.
I'm Christopher. 31. I'm originally from.
You're not 31, you liar. No way.
Swear to God.
You're not.
Benjamin Button.
You're not. You're at least 25. Hey, at least 25.
Yeah.
No, man. But actually, Joe, I'm fully convinced. Like, I've always been convinced of this, and people think I might be a liar. I'm immortal. Honestly, I think I'm immortal.
You're immortal?
I feel like I stopped aging the year I stopped drinking when I was 25. Honest to God.
You're not.
With that complexion, like.
You're sexy, I
I'm
know.
going to stop drinking soon.
You should have stopped drinking 10 years ago,
I
man.
look like a 90-year-old plumber from Galway.
Love pipe. No, we actually explained a few weeks back. So we're going to get Chris on. He's a fucking hard man to get, I won't lie.
He's meant to be on.
He's meant to be on episode 1, Jim. But we had to get our lack of money to pay him to come on. But this is a very special week for us, folks. A very special episode and a very special topic. It's mental health. There's actually mental health week there. Or month, was it last month?
It's this month as well.
Was it?
It's Mental Health Movember.
Oh, that's right, you're right.
Fucking right.
Ah, well, that's why we got him on for Mental Health Month. But Chris is going to tell us his story. He's struggled with mental health himself, and everyone's kind of affected by it. As everyone, in some way, someone affected by mental health, or
everybody suffers. I think, to be honest.
Well, some way.
The way we deal with it, I suppose, is it?
But we got Chris on to share a story. Basically, what we want him, what we want him to do is share his story. The aim is to talk. Basically, we wanna maybe talk to people out there that has gone through what Chris went through, and maybe
on it.
Are you on it? Maybe
you on it?
Maybe see
Switch off that phone, yeah.
Fork, you're fucking dog catch wages.
Clap it, jump.
Clap that. But now what we want to do is we want to
try get at people.
We want
them maybe.
We want to touch people. No, we want to get there.
Chris is redhead.
Red man. But we want to talk to people out there that are struggling, and maybe when they hear things that Chris maybe has to explain, that there is light at the end of the tunnel and he's walking proof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the aim of the episode, folks, and also to have a bit of crack and let everyone know.
No, we don't have any crack, funny.
Let them-
Man's off it there for months.
But we want to let everyone know there is a bit of seriousness to this, but also we're also going to have a bit of crack and rip a piss out of each other like we do every other week. But it'll be interesting to hear Chris' story and just hear the ups and downs. And
It means a lot to me and Vinny too.
it does mean a lot to us, of course it does. But I think the main part of it is that you're here with us and having a laugh with laugh with us, and good that you can be here with us. But so how do you want to start, Chris? Your name's Christopher Redhead. I can't believe your name's Christopher Redhead, and you're not 31 either. You're at least 23. But you're here anyway, and you're from Monaghan.
Yeah.
You're from Monaghan right now?
Yeah.
Monaghan,
What do Monaghan and cows have in common?
They're both close to Kevin.
Oh, very good.
Monaghan. I have a Cleaver in my front street.
So
fucking Valley Channel.
So, how you Letterkenny? How did that come about, or what's
I know Letterkenny, as you remember, about 11 years ago, sure.
Mm-hmm. Like it was yesterday.
The first time, and I was in college, and loved it. And just coincidentally, this is where my drinking properly started.
Did it?
So
When
it's
you came here?
when I came here for college, I was 19, like, and that's when my drinking was getting into the depths of it. You know, like, I kind of started off at like 4 to 8 cans, and then it led to like a nagging of vodka to 4 cans, and then it just went up and up and up.
On the system space on an hour a day?
3 days. 3 days.
So hold on.
Yeah.
Was this when you were 19?
Yeah.
Fuck.
You see, my drinking originally started when my father passed away.
Right.
And he passed away at 35.
Fuck you.
Jesus
See, my parents
Christ.
had me when they were young also. Mum was only 17. Obviously, it wasn't a mistake. And my father
Well, it was planned.
16. And no, he passed away when I was 18. And
Jesus.
it was at his wake that I was drinking Budweiser. And that was the first time like that I was drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And
You could have put a better beer in Budweiser. To be
it
honest.
was, even looking, thinking back now on it, it was
Jesus
horrible. Like,
Christ.
but I always thought it, like, in a weird way, I always thought it quite funny. Like, he passed away because of the drink. And at his wake, I always seen it as...
Oh, he was an alcoholic, was he?
Aye, of course. He died from the drink. So, an alcoholic died, one was born.
Yeah.
Kind of way. And that's basically how my drinking started anyway.
Did you, when you were 19, did you go to all the colleges? Like, did you go to all your college classes?
Oh.
Or were you doing both? Or were you
No,
just
drinking.
Just drinking?
Just drinking. And
What were you actually doing in college? Yeah.
multimedia.
Drinking.
That was it. Drinking and partying.
Partying,
No, it was. You see, I was.
But that, hold on, that's kind of first year students.
That's how it happens.
But how was it your father's death that maybe triggered you in a
was-
darker kind of way?
Yes,
Aye.
because like I will be honest with you, like after my father passed away, you see, I repeated the leaving cert. It was around the time of the leaving cert anyway, and I repeated, and was sent to a grievance counsellor and all. But then I honestly didn't take that well, and then I just carried on. It was more so suppressing emotions. So drinking was just kind of putting it into the back of your mind and just locking them away.
Yeah.
And no, that was it. Like, that's what I used drink as, just like a tool, a kind of key just to lock the door on what I went through.
So 19, your first year of college. Did you? How did that course go? As he say, did you go to class or did you do? No, just fuck.
No, I didn't go to class. Like, it was all like I'll be honest with you, it was. You're coming from Monaghan, you're used to the same people I'm Monaghan town, like, and then you come up to college for the first time, and then all of a sudden there's all these people from all around the country, like, especially like, women, like, from all around the country. Like, and I'll be honest with you now, and I can say it now, the whole week or the whole year of college, I had a girlfriend, and she knew what I was up to anyway. Like, I had 3 girlfriends at one stage. Like, it was kind of like gluttony.
Yeah.
But
finger blasting.
But that's you're such a young, good-looking lad. Like, all these dogs just want to sit in your face for some reason.
Ah, you see, that's what I mean.
And I'll stand there like a sheer look behind it, like, oh, station.
Like, I remember him texting me like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, any house parties around Ballyrain, like in some dog's bed.
I was actually hoping he would say, any room in there for me?
Yeah, to get out of the bed and lift on him. Lift them up. You must have been small back in,
I'll
Sam.
forgive you.
Hey?
I'll forgive you, Sam.
So you finger blasted through college and drunk through college, but what? You said you went to a grievance course. That didn't help.
Hold on 1 second. Could you take your bricks out of your mouth, Mark?
So that didn't help at all.
I'll be honest with you now and say it, I wasn't in the right mindset yet. I hadn't really come to terms with it. Like, it was, like, I remember during that time as well, being taken to St. Avnet's, which is a psychiatric unit. As I locked myself in the room for about 3 days and crying and cribbing about everything. Like, everything was kind of coming at me, and I'll be honest, self-harm came into effect. Like,
yeah.
And
what age? What age were you hearing this?
This was 18. This is before I went to college.
Right.
Like, and
was there drugs involved?
No.
No.
I swear to God, there was
Just
nothing.
drink?
It was just drink.
Fuck.
And it's just my mentality. Like, it's like, to explain it. Like, at that time, it was just, I wanted a feeling. And that's why I did. I remember hitting the mirror and then the glass going everywhere and taking a piece of glass and cutting myself. Like, look, I can't do it now, but if you want to, like, look, see the way the scars and everything I have on my arm.
Exactly.
Like, and to be honest, there's a reason why I roll up even my chef jackets and t-shirts and everything.
You roll them up?
Yeah, because to show my scars, like, I'm not afraid of them. If people ask, the conversation can come up. And I can
so you can open up about it?
Yeah, exactly.
But you're this. I don't know if anyone else does it, but do you believe in everything happens for a reason?
Always.
I think you're here to first and foremost talk about what happened to you. But I just want to say this before we go any further. Chris actually reached out to us. I didn't text him and say, "Here, lad, you want to come on and chat about it?" He actually texts me and says he wants to come on and share his story, which is fucking, like, probably the bravest thing you can do.
Yeah.
No, so fair fucking play to you.
You're open to talk about it. That's
But you're here to talk about it. You're here to tell people about it. Like, so I think maybe your dark days happen for a reason.
Oh, they did.
And you've been wanting to talk about it for a long time, haven't you? Openly talking on a platform like this or something.
Yeah, definitely. To get my story out there and just to make people aware of that I went through the same thing and I'm on the other end of it and I know
The better end of it, yeah. But you were like self-harming before you went to college.
Yeah.
Fuck, how did you find that? How did, like...
It was, like, I will be honest, like, at the time, yeah, it was kind of giving me, like, a sensation of failing, but there was no use to it, to be honest. Like, it just left me with scars and everything.
Yeah. So, a student's first year in college is, oh yes, fucking going to move in here to this apartment block here and when I go out all the time. Did you have any of that joy at all? The college life joy, like?
It wasn't really so much joy, I'll be honest. It was...
Did you had it a lot though?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
If you had said to me that you were going through what you were going through whenever I knew you when you were 18 or 19, I was just not a hope.
No.
Well, do you know each other? Shall head on here, Paul.
I'm going to head the fuck out of the road there.
This fella for about 11 years.
Oh, do you? You never told me that, sure.
You're not
When we're
sure.
having tea in the kitchen before we come on.
Christopher Redman, that's his name, chef.
Hey? You don't even know his name?
But no, it was like, no, I'll be honest with you, nobody ever saying, like, because you can hide it. Like, there's always way of hiding it. Like, there's been nights I'd go to the grill and everything, go out, have a good night and everything. I'd go back and I'd just sit there in my room in tears. And then get up and do the next.
As they say, people say out farming, the smile. No,
Yeah.
people smiling.
Yeah.
They're always bubbly, and then when they go back to the room, as you explained there now, you're just, fuck that. I was putting on a fucking different face here.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
But as people always say, shit, sorry, Park.
Jesus Christ almighty.
All joke,
Sorry!
all joke-
Sorry, touch the mic again!
all joke
What do you
aside,
like that?
all
What do you call
joke
that
aside.
movie? Something with Mary.
All right.
Don't touch my ear!
You dropped your comb again, Sam. Not dropped your comb, will you?
Your toothbrush.
What was I going to say? You put me clean off now.
I know why, but stop touching the mic.
What I was going to say actually is what you're chatting about there about talk to your friends that are talk to your happiest friends.
Yeah, it's
You know,
they do more of an effort to kind of put on a brave face.
but the way if you'd have said to me back whenever we were going out and about and all this shit, someone better chat to Chris. And I'm like, what, that chuck's nuts. What are you on about? He's only after warming through the girl dance floor.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Now I'm like, Chris boy's not going home to fucking cry in his room.
No, you wouldn't know.
So it means fucking talk to your friends. Do you know what I mean? Even the ones that you think there's nothing wrong with. Do you know what I mean?
It's like nobody would have known.
No,
what I
not
have
that
gone through.
hope. Not that hope.
It's kind of like a fight or flight thing that happens with inside you. It's like, right, I'll put on a brave face. And it's like one of the biggest sayings I've ever heard within like the alcohol community or the alcoholic community is being in a pub of 300 people, surrounded by people, but still feeling alone.
Yeah.
Like, and there's a massive difference between loneliness and being alone.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Like,
It's mad old saying that if you think about it. Like.
Yeah, like it's, and I always, like, I'd be sitting, I'd be having a crack with everyone. Like, I was never the type that would have the one clique or the one friend group.
Yeah.
I was always bopping between everyone. Like, a lot of people, I got on with a lot of people. And then I was going home alone with my thoughts. I was walking out that road, tears coming down my face.
Fuck.
But it was, I just seen it as my struggle.
Yeah.
I seen it, and it was, I will be honest with you, and as a fella as well, there's always a sense of pride that comes with it. I'll not speak. I'll cry alone.
Yeah.
Nobody will see my tears. Like, it's always the way though.
Yeah.
But in the end up, I spoke.
So, your mid-20s.
Yeah.
So, after your teens, where did it go from, obviously, self-harm, your first year of college, over?
Happy drinking.
Oh yeah, it got heavier.
So, how dark did it get from in your 20s, basically?
It's, reliant on drink to feel anything, any sense of happiness. Towards the end of college, I met a young girl and started going out with her, and in the end up, I think we were going out about 3-4 years.
We finished with the other one in that time. The other girlfriend.
There's an overlap, like.
Sorry, joking.
But at that time, like, it was. But then you see, it was what I seen as I thought was love. But after a year, it was more so like, oh, I'm not paid yet. Can you like kind of sort me out with money?
Yeah.
And then she was able to always sort me out with money.
Right.
And then I seen that.
You were
as,
drinking with me?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And I was doing that for years. And I'll be honest, and in the end up, she broke up with me. And she had every right to Jesus Christ.
No, fucking.
Like, no woman should put up with that. Like, and it took me a long while to realise, like.
Did you, like, was there a stage you just lost everything?
Yeah. Like, I'll be honest with you, I was homeless and everything. Like, I've been homeless.
And Letterkenny?
No, in Monaghan.
Monaghan?
Like, there's wee places to stay, like couch surfing and everything.
Oh, right.
Like, it was through my own fault. Like, it's pushing family members away and just falling out with family members. And sure, coming into the state of my mum's, like, and then it was just causing arguments over nothing, like. And then mum even had to put me out, like, 'cause it was tough on her.
Yeah.
It was tough, and like it broke her heart to have to do that. But it's tough love.
Oh,
And look, in the end up, it worked.
How long were you homeless for?
I was for, I say a couple of months. Like, I was couch surfing for a couple of months, but I remember like sleeping in a band.
And you're still able to get drunk, like?
Of course.
Nothing there.
Like the boys always said, like, it was, I'm the only man that could walk into a pub at 12 o'clock and leave there a few hours later loaded drunk with no money in my pocket, like.
Fuck,
I could end up
sounds like me.
I could end up leaving with 25s and everything, like.
That sounds like me.
It's just, like, alcoholics are very smart.
So
They will always find a way to get drunk.
always find a way to get drunk.
Yeah, and there's always that instinct, like, I could always get myself drink.
Yeah, well, it's people used to say that to me about even smoking cigarettes,
Yeah.
like someone addicted to cigarettes, like, might have no money, but will always find money to get a fag or get cigarettes somewhere,
Yeah, of course.
you know.
Like, you'd be rooting through the cupboard and everything, looking for that last bit of tobacco. Because you know it's there, like.
When did you think, fuck, like, you know, so little people come out the way you come out, like, off it, like.
Like, I'll always, anyone who asks my story, I'm always open to it. And there's a little chapter in the big book of alcoholics, and it states at the start of it what I was like, what happened, and what I'm like now. And I will always tell my story that way. So what I was like, I was in the depths of the drink. I was relying on drink for my happiness. What happened? I got the help, and what I'm like now, I'm happy. But the time where it was like, fuck, like, what is this? It was a bank holiday. This was after the woman broke up with me, and I just thought to myself, right, going on the drink, and it was my uncle's kind of like anniversary thing, where all of my uncles and everyone were coming up to Letterkenny, no go-karting.
Yeah.
And we were going there. I was already on the drink on Thursday. I was on the drink on Friday. I woke up the next day, we were coming up here on the Saturday. And my stepdad was like, don't you be drinking today? Because he's like, I look like shit. And my uncle was like, no, let him have a few. So I had a few going down the road and everything, went out that night and everything. And sure, I ended up at somebody's house 4 o'clock in the morning and still stopping away. And then it was the Sunday, it was the bank holiday Sunday. And I remember being up in one of the boys' houses on the Pound Hill. This is in Monaghan. And you see, I never blacked out. That was a curse that I had, that I would remember everything. And drinking all day, drinking cider all day. And just drinking cider all day. And then kind of passing out, kind of falling asleep, waking up, drinking more cider. And then I remember going down to the pub anyway, down the street, at about 9 o'clock. Walking into the pub. Not a sou on me, no money or anything. Looking around for a few of the boys that I knew. Oh yeah, and boys kind of, it's scary in a way because you remember how the reactions were. Like I would always remember, they're like, oh, don't talk to me kind of way, like, they're all about the place. Up to the barman and was like, oh, give me, was it Jägermeister? No, the Jäger bombs. I used to get 3 for $10. I used to take them in the pint glass, just down it straight away. And he just like, no, I'll get you a glass of water. Like, no, alright. I left anyway, and sure, fine. I had money in my pocket, so I went to the off license, 9:30. Got a wee nag and a vodka. Was like, this is it. Walked out the road, out to my mum's. Mum was in bed. And Kim just kind of ropey into the house, went upstairs, sat on the edge of mum's bed, talked to her, chatted to her about it. Explained to her that things aren't working out for me. This life isn't working out for me. It's not how I planned it. Like, I'm nothing in this life. Like, it's nothing to me.
That's when you felt your worst.
I felt that, yeah. Like, even like, if you can see you're just getting welled up now, just even because I can picture myself back in that moment. And it was just, like, on the way out that road with the nagging, like, I was making the plan in my head of what I'm doing. So, first thing, say goodbye to your mum. So, out to the house anyway. And sat on the edge of the bed, mum woke up, she was like, oh, my mum was in tears and everything. Even the wee brother in the next room.
I was just going to ask her, what way did your mother react, or what?
Mum was in tears, like, and even the wee brother, he's 17 now, he still remembers it. And he openly talks about it, like, because the family's all very open about this, like, which is great. And the other guy, he was delivery driver at the time. And sure, I left the house. I told mum I loved her and everything. And I did apologise. And left the house anyway, walked up my street in tears, and across the road from the entrance to my house in the estate, there's a forest. First place I went. It was the plan in my head anyway. Into the middle of the forest anyway. And sat myself down. It's like, right, shoelaces. And I said I need a song.
A what, sorry?
A song.
A song that make you...
No, to go out to, like, to listen to. To go out to. And it was Adele, When We Were Young. Oh, I couldn't listen to it for years after, like. And was like, right, shoelaces. Looked down at my feet. I was wearing slip-ons.
Oh, fucking Jesus Christ.
I laughed at myself and I was like, there's a plan here, like, who's doing this? Looked around anyway. Vine of a tree. Pulled on it a few times. And put it around my neck and just collapsed myself.
You what? You collapsed?
I collapsed myself. I just let my knees fall under me and collapsed myself and just Like, as you can see, I'm shaking.
Ah,
now,
fuck, take care, you go. I'm shaking myself.
Take your time for this. It was very 20 minutes time.
But it was like, my parents had already rang the guards, you see, as soon as I left
So
the
I'm
house.
looking for you.
So, it was a straight path into the forest, like, turn left. They were able to get me. I remember just kind of coming to and just the light in the eyes and just kind of lifting me up and bringing me to the ambulance. And then put me in the ambulance and just in the stretcher, and it was just tears coming down my eyes. No, like those silent tears, like you're not even. And then just.
Was there any? Did you feel any relief, or you weren't
disappointed?
Disappointed you didn't do it.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Like disappointed, and just chatting to the paramedic woman, and you could see the tears in her eyes. And she said, "Why, like you're just a young, handsome man, like why?" And I was like, "I don't get. I'm doing it again. He's let me out. I'm doing it again. Fuck. I'm doing it again." And just the whole way up the road, just trying to even get out of the stretcher. I'm doing it again. Taken into the hospital. My rights and everything taken away. I'm a danger to myself. Psychiatric unit there for a week.
Fuck.
That's where they put you.
Yeah, and they explained it to me as the drink. It's not that. Drink. It was away from the drink for about a week. I was feeling good, honestly, God, feeling good. Convinced them I was alright. Oh, convinced them. Like the one thing about me, I could lie. Oh, I could lie. I was like an actor doing it, like. And convinced them I was okay. They let me out. Straight back on the drink. Straight back on it.
Fuck's sake.
And went Athlone. Went to Athlone drinking then. And went to college there. Because you see, I'd already kind of finished a year business. And it was like, right, I'll transfer.
But was the drinking every day of the week?
Oh yeah.
You had no breaks at all?
Some breaks. When you'd run out of money and no means to kind of get a drink, it was always...
You'd have to take a break.
Yeah, and you'd be sitting there with your demons. But it's kind of like it's a trick that you learn, like where it's you just kind of push it down all the time. You can just push it down and leave it there. And up to Athlone drinking for the year and everything, sleeping on one of my friends' sitting rooms on a mattress, like just drinking.
Were you paying rent or not?
No.
No?
No. Didn't have to pay rent or anything. You see, I seen it as like, it was funny, I was giving them entertainment, like, and I was getting like a, what do you call that, back to education allowance. Drink. Straight away, drink. And then drinking was just getting out of hand, came to the end of the year anyway. Failed everything, like. I was like, fuck it, this is the sign now. I'll finish college and focus on my drinking.
Jesus.
Like, it goes through your mind, like, to do that, like.
Focus on your drinking.
Like, focus on my drinking. Like, it's such a weird thing. And then, sure, I came back to Monaghan anyway, back into the parents' house, and just said, oh, fucking hell, it did not go well, like.
Yeah.
And, man, it was horrible. Like, coming back to Monaghan and then causing all arguments under the sun in the house. Like, I remember one, and it always sticks with me. I remember even when I was in rehab, like, speaking about this. And it brought me to tears, and it still gives me chills. I'll let you know now, I fixed it before you think anything different of me. But I remember having an argument with Mum in the house, and I blamed her for being an alcoholic.
You blamed her for being an alcoholic? Wait, was your mum an alcoholic?
No.
She wasn't?
There's nothing to do with that. It was blamed her for my upbringing. Like, see, the other he left when I was younger. Mum. My mum was amazing. Like I said, that she was the mother and the father. And then my stepfather came into my life when I was 7. Gentleman, if you will ever meet him, like, I would understand him, like, he's from the depths of Antrim, like, but the loveliest man. He took on everything. He was young too. Like, you have to remember, my mum's not even 50 yet, like, and he was young, and he was bringing on another child.
Yeah.
Like, an amazing man.
It's a big step.
Like, and where the fuck was it?
Your mum, your
mum blamed
her
for
it. And I blamed her for it anyway. And I was like, oh, you're bringing in everything, like.
Wasn't it easy for her?
No, it wasn't easy for her.
Tight.
No, wait to hear what I done next. When my father left when I was younger, he took all the baby pictures. My money had a certain amount of baby pictures in the house of me. There's not all social media and everything back then, like in the 90s and all that. I took those pictures and I ripped them up. Oh, you don't deserve it. I said it to her, you don't deserve it.
Jesus Christ. So you're a bit aggressive too, then, you know?
Yeah.
Violent?
Like, no, not at all violent. But I would cut you in two with words, like stuff that I would say, It was just
The words would harm.
to the bone. Like it was a horrible person. Like I was just evil. And mind you, I did fix it now. Like Mum took all the pictures, and I remember one of the days, like after I think it was a year sober. You see, I got sober as well on my mum's birthday.
Right.
But that was just through coincidence. I didn't even know it was her birthday. Like when I showed up to the house.
Yeah.
But I did fix them. I put them all back together, took pictures of them, photoshopped them, printed them out again, put them in a folder for her and give them back to her. Like it was one thing on my list I had to do. Kinda.
Oh well.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you about the time anyway that I stopped drinking. So I got a job, and it was in the West End Arms Hotel in Monaghan. And the head chef there, Marty, he used to work with my uncle. My uncle's also a chef, and he's seen the surname Redhead. And he's like, Ian, Redhead? I goes, yeah, nephew. He goes, right, take you on. So he took me on, and I was like, nice, bit of money. So
was drink going through your head when you thought of money?
Of course. See, do you know, like, see, whenever I'd see the money going into the account, like, I'd see about 20 quid, I'd be like, £4. Like, it was the weirdest thing. And that was a hard habit to get out of too. Like, you'd see, or like, bottle of Buckfast, nagging, buys you a few cigarettes, as in, like, ask people for a few cigarettes like, to get you by.
What about food? Eating wise?
Oh, no. I was.
Were you in Nara?
Yeah, like, I was down to, I think, below 9 stone at one stage.
Pulled like a skipping rope.
Skinnier.
Pulled like a butterfly's heart on?
Had the wee, like, swelly belly, like.
Oh, the wee swelly belly of the beer, eh? You flick your ass in your belly button?
If we could get a cigarette. But like that was like
so your money, you were thinking straight away
drink like
just like funny and cream slices. No, continue.
But it was just always the way. Like it was just, and then she was fucking around on work, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And then it was around. I remember my last binge then. So mind you, like this Marty fella, I was always calling in sick, never showing up, never even texting him or like ringing him saying I'm not coming in today. He kept putting me on the road. I come in the odd time. I remember a few times being drunk in the kitchen, like staring into a fryer, like fucking swaying back and forth, like having clothes on me that were still damp and everything, like not even washed properly, not even caring for myself, like gaunt in the face. And then I remember just being on the binge. I think I was on the binge for about 5 days, and it's towards the end of it, and I was in one of my friends' houses and was staying there, and I was sleeping on his couch, and I remember like just drinking and drinking for about 5 days straight, and he fell asleep anyway, and look, no more drink left. I was like, right, go into the casino here in town. I always serves till about 5 o'clock in the morning. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, right, there's not a sou on me, like, I'll pretend I have the bank card and all. Because in my head I was like thinking, right, I have a phone, I want to sell my phone, get a few cans, like.
Jesus.
And was on my way out to the house anyway. He said I didn't live with Mum at this stage, I lived somewhere else. And couldn't get into the casino anyway. And went out to my own house. And I stood at the door. I was like, no, I need to speak to Mum. Like something inside, it was just like, I need to speak to Mum. And then I remember walking like that road. And this was always the hardest part and the weirdest part for me. I had voices. I had a voice inside my head. Like I can still picture myself swaying side to side, and still that voice was inside my head, telling me, "Do you know what? You're fucking shit." And you have that other. It's like 80-20. Where you have that wee 20%. Like, no, you're grand. You can do well. Like that weirdly, it was always like, "You're handsome. You're good looking. You have it. You're okay." I was like, "No, you're fucking shit. You're worthless." It's all inside my mind, like this voice, and you can hear it echoing. You're fucking shit.
That's crazy.
And I was going out to the house and knocking on the door about 4 o'clock in the morning. Fell through the door. And, drunk. And chatting to Mum and just sitting there in convulsions like a child, just crying like, and Mum didn't say it to me. She said, "Look, you need to choose. You can go to the psychiatric unit or we can get you help in a place." And like, I don't know. Then because when I was younger, my father wasn't really in my life that much. Dad had caught up with me.
Mm-hmm.
Why did my dad never love me? That kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
All the
thinking
stuff starts
Yeah.
unlocking inside you,
Mm.
and it starts to come to the front. And I drank myself sober at this stage. And Mum was like, "Give me a minute, I'm just going up to wake your dad up." And he went up. Mum went upstairs anyway. I was like, "I'm going out for a smoke." I remember trying to roll a rollie. It was horrible, man, because I kept crying into it. It kept falling apart.
Funny
And I
to
ended up
know.
holding it away from me and rolling it. And I remember smoking it at the back, and I remembered I have a can hidden somewhere. So I went walking for about 15 minutes to get this can, and it was a can of Hackenberg. I remember drinking it, walking through the forest where I tried to take my life the first time, thinking in my head, yeah, right. Tried to hang myself once. Tried another time, the rope broke. I can't swim. I throw myself in the canal, right beside. I stood there, and something inside, again, the voice was like, you're a coward. You wouldn't even say goodbye to your mum. And then I was walking through that laneway, and I remember even calling out for Mum, thinking that she'd come with me, like, landed back to the house. You could just see the sigh of relief on her. And then she rang the guard. She's like, no, he's back. And then sure, Mum was like, we're going to get you help. Next day, Nana landed at the house anyway with a bunch of flowers. I was like, alright, I'm not that sick, like. Mum's birthday.
Oh fuck.
Didn't even know, like.
And that was the start of your different journey?
Yeah, and like didn't even take anything into consideration. 23rd of June. Didn't even know.
That's mad.
And Nana was like, we've got this sorted, we'll take you to Ballybay up the road, we'll get you sorted. So heading up the road anyway, and sure, Mum was asking me all the questions and everything about drink and stuff like that, and she was like, oh, is there anything else? I was like, well, there's drugs too, like it went hand in hand for me, like not to black out because I was mad for the drink, so obviously Mum was joking in the front. She was like, oh, you're smoking the weed anyway, because she was thinking because it was so skinny. And she was joking, she was like, oh, I do coke as well, and I was like, yeah. And I named out all the drugs. She was like, she just couldn't believe it. Then I remember going up the road anyway, like it's like a wee sense of humour coming back to me. It's like, hi Nana, amazing woman, angel of a woman. Used to live with her for years, like we're like that. I was even on the phone to her today telling her I was coming on this. And she's not that good a driver, I'll be honest with you. She's not that good a driver. Going up the road to Ballybay, she was kind of swerving, and my mum was just sitting there gripping onto the handle, and I was like, Nana, I want to live, I don't want to die anymore, don't. And they brought me in, chatted to somebody, got a place in Coomber in Galway. Monday, it's gone down there.
That's that alcohol place, isn't it?
Yeah.
And everything, drugs, drink, gambling.
Drugs is different. You say drugs is more 6 months because of the way drugs is harder to get off. Like.
Yeah.
So the drink is only 3 months, and I remember doing the summer there. Stepped into the place, even my attitude and everything. My parents brought me down. I remember sitting in the back, I had near pull over the car, like I was ready to get sick the whole way.
Oh, that's it, yeah.
I remember laughing even going down the road, and I was like, fucking first holiday in years, like, because I haven't been on holiday since I was 15. I was 25 at this stage, like, because they were laughing in the front.
You're a young pub too, yeah.
Yeah, and got into the place anyway, and sure, there was this fella, and he was chatting to my parents and everything, and I remember just sitting there like with my head down, just not even wanting to look around me or anything. Couldn't believe where I am, like. And then this fella was chatting away to Mum and my dad, and it was I just looked up. He walked away and I looked up. What the fuck was that cunt on about? I was like, would you stop that? These people are here to help you. Fucking help me. And I kind of put my head back down. So plan was, I had in my head whenever I first started rehab, my head was, I'm going to go into this, I'm going to do this for 3 months, I'm going to convince my parents that I'm okay, I'm going to secretly drink. I'm going to get back to the house, I'll have a place to live, drink. Easy, done. That's the whole plan.
You plan this in your head.
Swear to God, yeah.
Do that and go back and drink.
Yeah, Go back and
You
drink.
were failed already before you even
Oh,
got
of
started.
course, man. Like it was going to take like a proper divine intervention to do something. And first week, great crack. You're in kind of the recovery place of it. Like you're in your pajamas all day. You're doing nothing. You're getting back to your sleeping habits. Oh, they fill you full of food. The end of it, I came out. I think it was 14 stone. I went in there.
Same weight as Vinny.
And a small food like a circle. Sorry.
Cut that out, boy.
Sorry.
Somebody drew him with a rubber.
Fuck's sake, boys. I'm deep in thought here. I should give an abuse about my weight and height.
I'm only joking. Now continue. Sorry, that's
But then, no, they fill you full of custard donuts, and you have like
custard donuts.
Yeah,
Dirty bastards.
5 tea times a day. Oh, they were lovely to go back then.
You could
Oh,
see
they were nice. They were nice.
So hungry, like.
They were nice, eh?
They were. And like you're getting breakfast, and then you're getting breakfast dessert, and then you're getting like tea, dinner,
Steak.
more dinner,
Breakfast dessert.
Man. It was.
Do you want to book
madness, like,
Vanny, you want to book a week away? I mean, you doing there?
Sounds like a wet dream.
like it was just, and they're all doing this, and it was just like, and then you get into week 2, and they start kind of like slowly putting you into it, where it's like sitting in a group. It's kind of like talking about stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Each week has something different.
Keeps you interested.
It's
Tries to.
tries to tap inside your brain, see where the drinking comes from. I did eventually find out where the drinking came from, but I got to that, and so each week is different, and it has different titles, and you go through different things. The amazing thing that they're doing there, and I still have it, they give you a pen, a journal, and then they'll give you questions every week. So you get to see your mindset change.
Mm-hmm.
You can look back, once you're in the final week, you look back
At your
and
answer.
you see your answers, and you answer them questions
Then
again.
progressing
Yeah.
as you go on.
And I did that, and it's just, even now when I look back and I was like, who was that person? Like,
That's it.
And that's their plan all along.
Yeah.
Is them questions to see.
But is it the whole, hi, I'm Christopher and I'm alcoholic vibe, like?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
yeah, oh yes sir.
Right, fuck.
And I was always nervous in these wee meetings, and then you see outsiders will come in as well, and they'll have the meeting, and it's more so, I never spoke. Then I remember one woman picked on me to speak, nervous, spoke. I vowed to myself then, right, fake it till you make it. I'm gonna speak or try and speak at every meeting, so I feel comfortable speaking. And I done that. Everything changed for me in week 5. I wasn't taking it seriously.
For the first 5 weeks?
For the first 5 weeks, I wasn't taking it seriously. I went to leave in the 3rd week, in tears. All back.
I forgot actually at the start to apologise for him on behalf of him.
Sorry.
For him on behalf of him.
He's ruining everything.
No, he's making it lighter.
I'm ruining everything.
Lighter than his hair, to top of his head, yeah. Huh?
Funny, text me if you are thick, will you? I'll stop.
Oh, what was I going to say?
Like, you see,
I'm interested. I don't know, is your one, does your heating off, but the hairs are standing everywhere on myself. Even on the top of my jab's eye.
He's baggy here. And in the 3rd week, you see, when I was drinking, it was just more so, it was anger and sad. That was the only emotions I had. And then obviously the false happiness that comes with drink. But it was just angry and sad. So in about the 3rd week, when the drink starts to wear off, all your emotions are coming. And it is horrible. It is weird.
And did you ever think about trying to get drink in there, or is it totally you can't get drink in there?
No, you see, it's in the middle of nowhere in Athenry, like, beautiful place, and you can't. I didn't even know the place either, like.
Yeah.
Didn't even know the place, and the 3rd week I wanted to leave. I couldn't, and that was just fear, because all my emotions were coming back: love, happiness, sadness, anger, excitement. Everything was coming back to me, and it was just, I didn't know what way I was. And I prayed. I'll be honest with you, I did pray. I sat down in front of the statue of Mary and I prayed.
You weren't holy at all. You just
Catholic.
You pray in your bed. Not bother going to mass, kind of Catholic.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy mass when I was younger. Like,
what did you pray for?
Help.
Help to be better.
Yeah, I needed it, because it was just a relief for something. And remember, the gym started up. You see, there's a gym, but you can't go there until like week 5 or something. I remember walking through the door with my towel, going to the gym, and the owner, or like the person who runs the place, lovely woman, honest woman, very honest. Likes being called by her first name. I'm not going to say names or anything, but I called her by her surname. I said Miss, whatever. And she goes, you call me Miss, you address me as the first name. I was like, oh sorry, and she just stopped. She's like, I've been watching you, you're not taking this seriously.
Away. Fuck.
I was like, what? And I got angry. Straight like that, anger. Like, I am taking it seriously. I'm doing everything. I'm going to this and going to that. Like, I'm writing everything down. She goes, you're not taking this seriously. I went to the gym and I boxed it out on the punching bag. Like, I might remember after that then getting a shower and going and sitting down and be like, oh, maybe she's right. So, 5th week, went to boys that were already in their 12th week, trying to get wee nuggets of advice like how to do this. One of the boys told me how HOW, honesty, openness, willingness. Honesty to yourself and others, openness again to yourself and others, and willingness to learn and move forward. And that's something that I live by today.
Very good.
And started doing that. Started taking it seriously, trying to take it seriously. And there's always, like, we've always heard of this thing where, like, within our wee groups and everything, we've heard of this thing where there's a week for some people that they break and you break, and then the only way is up from there. So you're just broke and then you start again. And it happened. Week 8. It was a Tuesday morning, early in the morning, freezing in the building. And one of the counsellors, not naming names again, scary looking man, amazing man. Remember him sitting chatting to me, asking me a few different things. Like, they talk to you, like they have questions there, they ask you and everything. I was chatting away about something, he picked up on something that he seen in me. He dug into it. And I was like, no. And he dug into it, asked me questions about it,
Kept poking.
Yeah, just kept at me. And then he could see me welling up a bit. And then he asked, do you think your father loved you? Gone.
Fuck.
I broke. And no.
He broke you just.
No. Yeah. Not the way I'd like to be broke, but still. Like, it's into tears. I mean, convulsions.
Everything come out.
Everything had come out. And this is what I had to do. Like, this is what I needed to deal with back then. 7 years to come to terms with the death of my father.
That's madness.
7 years. And that's because the drink pushed him down. And then, remember then he was going around the room and I was sitting there shaking and everything in convulsion, just holding it in. And then, you see, they're kind of like classes, and then sure, they all left. And he goes, Christopher, you stay behind. And kept me back, and he stood in front of me. Big burly man. Scary man, like. And he said, I'm going to do something for you that hasn't been done in years, that you need. Honest to God, in that moment I thought the fucker was going to punch me. In that moment, he put out the arms and he hugged me.
Away.
Bang, tears again.
Away.
Tears again.
He was a choir worker, you'll always remember him.
Oh, of course.
Give you any contact with him? I suppose you're not
No,
allowed
I
to.
rang a few times, like chatting to them, like, and just letting them know, like, kind of letting them know that I'm doing well. Like, all the counsellors in there, the best thing about that place, all those counsellors have been through the programme.
Yeah.
They know,
Themselves?
Yeah.
Even?
They know inside your head. They know before you do.
Well, for him to trigger you like that, he knows.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Like, and from there, the healing started. And fucking hell, it was, like, I'm not going to sound any, like, in a Disney way or anything, but it was magical. Like, just from there, it had started. And, I was on cloud 9. Everything was coming together and everything, and it was just all fitting. And then came to one meeting. It was one of the meetings anyway. It was about week 9. Week 9. Yeah, the end of week 9. And you see, you go around the room and they're asking you questions and all, and you have your chance to speak. You speak for about 15-20 minutes on whatever they ask you. And he asked me something. He went around to a few people, 20 minutes, spoke to me. He asked me a question. I spoke for about a minute and a half. He goes, thank you, Christopher. Moved on to the next person. I looked around and I was like, the fuck did he just do?
Mm.
And I was sitting there like, no, because I was eager to kind of get into myself,
Yeah.
like, and get everything out in the open. And I was sitting there, and I was livid, like, it was just the anger that was coming back, and I was just sitting there, and then the meeting ended, and I was like, bastard, like, why? And you see, a lot of these counsellors lived on campus, like, on the place. So I went over and I knocked on his door. He answered the door and he goes, what the fuck was that about? Why do that to me? And he goes, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And I goes, I was livid all day. That evening, 5 o'clock, he put me aside and he was like, we chat to you. He goes, come on in here. I was like, why did you do that? He was like, I done that to show that your anger is still there. Because I was walking around all happy, cloud nine. He goes, I was showing you that your anger is still there, and it will always be there.
Jesus.
It's all about the way that you deal with it.
Yeah.
It's mad the way they can get things out of you, and
Yeah.
you don't realise.
Like, and I sat back and I was like, what? And from then, like these are wee nuggets of gold for yourself.
Oh yeah.
And remember, all of this, all I'm doing is talking.
Yeah.
Like my whole way through it, talking. Mind you, eating and getting fat, but talking. And that's all it was.
Do you think, both of you, that the counsellors' work goes a bit unnoticed in these places? See, when you talk to someone about in rehab or whatever, and they talk about the place, and they talk about, it took me this long to get this and that, whatever happened, you never hear them talking about the counsellors.
It's funny.
No.
No, and obviously everyone knows my best friend died. Like, I thought I never had to go to a counsellor, but I did, and it's mad the amount you fucking talk to them. Because I wasn't chatting to my family, obviously, but it's just the way you open up to them. You probably felt it as fucking. You think she asks these silly questions as you, and you're open at everything. You couldn't feel like you could speak to you or friends or any or family.
But would you think that man was a big part of saving your life?
Yeah.
Like, that's mental, like.
It's mad, eh?
How do you
Like, it's-
fucking train for that? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how, like, that's what I mean, does it go a bit unnoticed, their work?
You're right. Like, you never ever hear anything about.
No.
You know, there's special fucking people, like.
There is, like, one person is Sister Concilio, and she is the woman that came up with all these facilities. Amazing woman. I met her. She gave me a wee scapular as well, and I have it on my bedside, and I had it on my bedside since, and that's what, how long sober, about nearly 2,000 days.
Fuck.
So it's about
2,000
years.
days sober.
Yeah, about 5 years and 3 months. Yeah. The last week of rehab, gratitude. It's a big part of life. Big part of rehab as well. And went through it. And it's just being grateful for everything. Like, I cannot describe how I felt in that moment. I kind of felt like I didn't want to leave, because it was just, I was happy there. You see, in that place, you're in the middle of nothing, right? You have nothing around you. You don't know anything around you. You're kind of in a dome yourself. Like, away from the outside world. Like, no newspapers or anything come into the place.
No phones.
Like, no phones. No nothing. Like, you have one phone call a week. You have a half an hour a week. Mine was on a Sunday, 6:30.
Fuck.
Yeah. And, no, I just go around and chatting to different people. Like, before I left as well, never mind my flaky skin, but this ring here is
Finger to firefly.
blessed by a priest
Is it?
from Coomera. Blessed by a priest from Coomera.
Coolmurra is in, where's Coolmurra? Mayo?
No, Galway.
Galway.
That's the place that I was. And this is kind of like a lucky charm for me. Like, I will always wear it.
Always wear it. That's
Yeah.
mad.
And
You
I'll always
believe
wear
in
it. And it's coincidentally, there's 12 on it with 12 steps of like.
12 steps.
And like, it's something that I always feel is valuable to me.
So you done 3 months in there?
Yeah,
Right.
all summer. And
It's a long time.
And so when you get out, talk to us a wee bit about the days leading, or the days after you get out.
after I got out, first it was Friday Friday I got out, and I was home on the Friday. And I was like, right.
Back home to your mum's.
Yeah, back
Obviously,
home to mum's. Mum agreed to take me back in. They were a bit sceptical because of the way it was before.
On terms.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
And they were
Terms
like,
and conditions apply.
yeah, that was exactly it. Like,
Oh,
they
right.
properly read them out to me. Except, but 3 months you can stay in the house. Or no, actually it was a month or something. Here. And then you have to find your own fate. Because, look, they didn't know how I was going to be.
Oh, right.
They didn't know.
Yep.
And straight into a meeting that night. Friday I was home. Meeting finished 10 o'clock. Where did I go? Straight to the local.
Away.
The local pub. Yeah, of course. I wanted to see.
I thought you were on the lost year. I was like, you did that.
No. Like, I was just thinking to myself.
Give me a line in the toilet, quick.
I wanted to see, just on the slide, like, I wanted to see.
That's a code to come on.
Tree of fun. I wanted to see what it would be like, me standing there. I walked in.
See, that takes balls, like.
It's stood out in the smoking area, smoked the fag, looked around me. No, things are the same. I was always told in Coomera, like at the very, very start, it was the only way you can change the world is if you change yourself.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, okay, I changed myself. The world looks different.
Yeah.
Totally. The world looks totally different. I looked at it and was like, no, that's not for me. Went home anyway. Life started. The best one Friday. That job that I had before in West End Arms Hotel, before I left for rehab, I sat down in front of the owner and in front of the head chef and I said, I'm struggling here with my drink and gone away to get help. Your job will be here waiting for you.
Jeez, that's a big thing too.
Oh, massive.
Massive.
And they did, obviously.
Oh yeah. They took me in and I started from scratch cooking. I started at the bottom.
Big shout out to them too.
Of course. Like that man, like, I'll say his name, Frank McInerney. Amazing man. Like, he seen me at my very bottom. He gave me that chance and he took me back in. And I left a confident man. I was with him for 3 years. And he didn't want to see me go, honestly. But I felt like it kind of was time to move on. I wanted to move here to Letterkenny. I remember during Movember once he said, I can't grow a beard. I was always get stuck.
I could see that.
Here. Yeah, it's horrible. I can't grow a beard. Grew this moustache anyway. And
You have a fucking badass moustache, whatever it be.
it's nice, like, but then
A real good fanny tickler, like.
It's like a
Sorry, I mean a real good lip warmer.
It's like a used brush out of some fingers.
as you can see, like, I'm vain, like, and vanity is my hair.
Well, hey, you get out fucking hair. I'll be like that soon. I spent saying nothing about myself.
I don't know if you noticed, but Marty got a hair transplant 4 years ago.
I told him.
And
4 years ago. 4 minutes ago, Sam.
It'll be nice when it comes in, like.
It comes on now. It's taken us the tides out a long time ago.
just like his uncle when he came in.
Yeah.
But
Farting semen for months.
yeah, so is it vain or are you confident? Like,
No, it's confident now. You can always
Fucking smell the semen.
There's always, I used to always say, like, there's people used to always say, oh, you're cocky. But the difference between cocky and confident is I know my flaws and I hold on to my flaws. So I always wore it on my hair, like I'd always have the hair done and everything. So I went to Frank and I said, look, if I get a big enough sponsorship, I'll shave my head too.
fuck.
He got me €500 sponsorship. End of November, shaved my hair, shaved the moustache. Sort of got a spitting image, Sinead O'Connor. No joke.
Rosa beads hanging in her pipe.
Hey, could you actually put a photo of Sinead O'Connor up in the park? And maybe a photo of Chris with bald joke.
Can you get the? Do you have a photo of you shaved up?
Oh yeah, it's on my Instagram. Like.
So we can put the two up.
Yeah, of course. Like, it's on my Instagram.
We can put the two up if you get the photo. Why do you sound so dopey all the time, Sam?
Because I'm fucking tired.
Actually, you know what, Ty? We can put the photo of you up there along with Sinead O'Connor.
I'm fucking tired doing everything.
Oh, he's so funny.
I can't fit my feet up on the couch because I'm too tall.
Same as that, actually.
Aye. I'm lying up there
I
like
get into the
I'm
band.
lying up there like a fucking Christian hobbit. Yeah.
I get into the band earlier. No surprise to say he's my baby's like like wee booster.
Look at these wee yellow shoes on here. Now we'll continue the story here. Keep the laugh for the
fuck
next one.
both of you.
Right.
Trying so hard to think of a Sinead O'Connor song and I can't.
Nothing compares to you.
Nothing compares to Marty's hair. Because we don't care.
You've got no hair. Here,
And it's pretty fair.
so where am I here? So anyway, I was going out in pubs anyway. I'll be honest with you, I was going out to pubs, but it was good. Like nothing was happening. I was just going out to pubs because I thought to myself, right, I need to
Test
a
yourself.
woman.
And get yourself a woman.
Aye, and I remember this was only about a month after I came out of rehab, like, and we had a staff party. I remember being in Carrick Cross, about an hour away. Oh, tough test. I'll be honest with you, it was a tough test. I was outside the back. I smoked about 40 fags that night, just puffing away, like looking at my watch, waiting until 10 o'clock was done because in my head, off license, buck fast, get rid of these nerves. Drank 13 Red Bulls that night. Palpitations the next
You as
day.
well drinking Buckfast, yeah?
I was the only one that didn't
Tight.
go in to work the next day. And I was the only one that didn't have a hangover.
It's tight.
But
Red Bull, sure.
there was a lot of tests and stuff, but I got through it, like, and it was kind of like stubbornness. I'll be honest with you, stubbornness and meetings that got me through it. I had good people behind me.
A lot of people say about them meetings are great, like.
Oh, they are. Like you go into one of the, you talk, and you leave, and there's power in the rooms.
Because
It is only
you're
4 walls.
talking, or
It's people understand you. Like people, like my brain, my mind works a lot different than a lot of people's. Whereas, for example, today, if you walked out into that kitchen now, in my jacket there is mints, like wee breath mints, for the sheer fact. In a split second, I thought,
you said months.
I'm going to find the mints, like.
Pound a months in your
wee
pocket.
mints.
You should have given Marty a hook and was pressing as a cat's pass.
But that's what I thought. I thought, right, I'm in the middle of the couch, I'm going to be talking to the two boys, they're going to be thinking my breath is thinking. Like, in an instant, that came to me. Today, walking home, a man was walking across the road into his car, we walked along the car, I walked quickly. Why? In my head, he get into his car, he didn't put his foot down the clutch, the car's in gear, he's going to start the car's going to go forward, I have to move out. In an instant, that's where my brain goes.
Fuck.
And that's called imaginative functioning. Where you're doing scenarios in your own head, but they happen in an instant. Like there's times there
It's
where
like a danger wank.
it's when you call your not your mum.
You wait till somebody opens the door and
But like
look at slurps, yeah. Fucking hell, slurps in the corner. Hey, what's wrong? You don't want to touch your teeth with the tea?
Will you fuck up?
But it's kind of like a similar thing to an alcoholic. So I can sit in these rooms and I can talk about it and people will understand. Like there's times I could look at somebody, you know, back whenever I was single, I'd look at somebody and in an instant I'd be like, no. And in my head, why? Picture myself with them 2 years down the line. Am I going to marry this person? Is this person going to give me kids? Am I going to have kids with them? Are they going to have a job? Like in an instant all this stuff happens. It's like, no. It's like overthinking.
Were you
But
always
it's
a guy?
controlled. No.
No, just like...
No. Like, yeah, in a bad way though.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is going to happen, I'm going to die. This is going to happen, I'm going to die. It always led to the same thing, I'm going to die. But now it's more so cautionary.
Yeah.
Like cautionary. And you can talk to me, like it's 4 walls, but there's great power in it where you can go in, I feel comfortable, I can talk about whatever I need to talk about, people will understand. And then I will leave. And it helped me so much, I will be honest with you, it's helped me so much. And then there's other little things that help you, people help you along the way. One person. I might get a bit teary on this now.
work away, lad.
Even thinking about it. One person, I can... No, I'll not say his name, but he's passed away now. My first meeting, I was chatting to him, give me his number. He was in the rooms for a few years, and used to always take me to meetings. Any trouble, straight away he'd be at my house. Come on, you do a meeting. He took me to do my first chair, which is me speaking about my experiences to the rest of the room. He took me to all the meetings, he helped me along my way. Sadly when I was living up here he passed away. And I chaired a meeting after that, and I remember speaking about him. Everyone knew him in that meeting, and I remember just bursting into tears. It was somebody I hold close to me. Didn't have to help me. Swear to God, did not have
I
to
reached
help
out.
me. He reached out to me.
And
And he was-
she when he died, he didn't die of drinking or anything like that. He
No.
was actually tearing himself.
Yeah, it was just, he deteriorated like it was cancer.
Cancer.
And I know his daughter. And I texted his daughter and just told her what he meant to me. And she said it as well. She said the amount of people that have come out and spoke about him. Because you see, anonymity, being anonymous, you can't divulge any of that information.
Yeah.
So the amount of people that he helped, oh, amazing man!
Fuck
like,
me, huh?
swear to God, like it's so the most selfless people, and they live out of unconditional love. They will love you if you step into the meetings. They will love you without conditions.
Saints.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Hmm.
saints among men, like. And there was a few times, I will be honest, there was a few close calls with inside me. I walked out of work where I worked in Monaghan and I just had enough. My anger was there. I had enough. I walked out, walked home, sat in the chair, smoked fags. I was like, I'm done with these emotions. Like I'm going back on it now. I'm done. I text this man, and he goes, "Look, I'm not about today. Somebody will be there to lift you at 7:30." That was it. Somebody was there to lift me at 7:30. Sort of that. From that moment, I said, I need precautions now. So that's when I started getting tattoos. Like, and I explained it afterwards, like all my tattoos on my arms, like they mean something to stop me from going back to that person. But the amount of people, honestly, that are behind me with this.
Have you had many of them moments
Yeah.
where you went and smoked 45s and thinking about angers and stuff like this, or what they're...
Usually, like, I don't dwell that much on the past. Like, it's like there's a saying out there where there's no future in the past. It's like I've kind of dealt with it and I move on from it.
But it's not the way you speak so openly about the past, though.
Oh yeah.
Do you know, like...
It's because there's so many people out there that have been in my shoes who have lost a father, who had an absent father, and just grown up with a single mom and then a stepfather. Like, I've just been through exactly what I've been through.
Yeah. If you were to speak to someone... if you were to speak to someone going through what you were going through 5-6 years ago...
Yeah.
What would your words be to them? I know the place in Galway. What's the name of the place in Galway again?
Coonwara.
You would... Coonwara in Galway.
I would suggest easily that.
100%. Would you suggest that?
100%. And look, I'll say my name now on Facebook. My name is Christopher McErlane. And anyone listening to this, easily text me as well. Because I am so open and so honest.
Well, that's...
that I want people to have what I have.
Yeah.
Like, I have been through it. I have seen that light at the end of the tunnel and I have got that. And I will never look back on it. And I know there's something in AA that we say is, like, you can never say, I'll not drink again. But I know for a fact I will not drink again. Because the life I have now, all from talking, is, I mean, like, they always promise you, it's a life beyond your wildest dreams. But it is beyond that. I'll be honest with you, it is way beyond that. And everything good in my life has happened since I stopped drinking.
Drink brings fucking... I could see myself through. It's a drink brings you fucking down. Depressing and fucking... I see it for the times too when I'm drinking now. I'd love to go off it for a while, but I just can't. I don't know why, but...
Like, and it's scary to think. One way I picture it, if somebody comes and talks to me about how they feel, and if they want to make a change, they explain to me how they're feeling. I honestly can go back to the moment I felt like that.
Like that, yeah.
And then I know. I know what to do. I have a friend, rang me. He's actually coming up on his year anniversary sober. Rang me last November. One of the boys put him on me. He was like, because I was at a wedding with him and I was drinking non-alcoholic beers, like, and I was having the crack, having the time of my life. I wouldn't let it stop me because it was too. I'm young.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit outside with my cats like.
Yeah.
And he said, I seen you at the wedding. Because I was with him, like, at the same table. He's like, I want what you have. I said, I'm done with drink. It's not making me feel good. Because, right, we'll work on this. He didn't want to go to meetings. I said, that's fine. We will work on this. We will talk. I sat with him, or sat on the phone to him 4 hours. From then, last November, till now, he lost his father in a motorbike accident. And coincidentally, on my dad's anniversary. 4 months later, he lost his mother. He lost both parents. I was like, right. FIFA? Honest to God, FIFA. Sat, microphone in, kicking about, chatting. That was it. And you see all these memes about, like, when you go on with your old friends, like, to play, like, Call of Duty or FIFA or something, that's all you're doing is chatting, like. And that's all it is. And we sat and we chatted. And we chatted for hours about everything. About everything. I told him, tell me about your mum. Like, and we went in depth. And text me afterwards, thanks for that. Like, honestly, he's still sober after all that. And all that was talking.
Talk's powerful.
Yeah, it is the most powerful thing that any person can do. And all I had to do that time I was in rehab was talk. Let everything out in the open.
So if like, it's so important to talk. Like, it's so important. Even you just talking now about, like, even your struggles and like, it's just fucking. We're just trying on this day is try and open it up to as many people out there struggling with Chris went through as they fucking just talk. It doesn't matter, as he says, if you're speaking over FIFA or fucking whatever you are.
Simple as the things, like.
If you're saying as well as your best friend or your friend there was having baller and then lost both parents, and he's coming up to a year sober now, and just because of fucking FIFA, like, you know, talking to you over FIFA, it's just
talking.
Like, it's an amazing fucking.
Like, and like, you're not mind me saying this, but like, it's, you kind of bring a sense of humour towards it too. I don't know if it's an Irish thing.
Even at Wex, like, even at Wex.
Yeah.
There's a funny side of Wex, like the jokes and fucking all that stuff. And
again, that's kind of what this kind of podcast is about. We're trying to be a bit serious, obviously, your story, and then we obviously want to get your fucking 100% your message across. It's such a strong message. We want to get the serious right straight to it. But again, as you say, fuck a bit of crack, have a fucking laugh. You know what I mean? Because it's. Remember, we were laughing on here last day. What was it? You farted or something, and then after you were like, Jesus, fucking good to laugh.
Oh, it is it?
You know,
it's a powerful good laughing.
It is, so
and
powerful.
Chris, what was we were chatting beforehand too? You're saying that what is your loss felt like, or what were we chatting about? He says you had a saying for.
Oh, the wee message you read out there. Actually,
message. But what was the saying?
Like,
he says you had your loss before you thought you were going to die. Was it or something?
So like, right, it may be drastic for me. But I remember somebody asking me before, it was like, I get to that thing right out, there's a story behind it. Like, it's, somebody asked me, if you went back on the drink, what would happen? And I said, I'm done. Like, I'm calling the shots. That's it, I'm done. I do not want that. If I choose that, like, if I fully choose that, that's me done. Like, I can't go on like that. And then they start asking me about, like, suicide and stuff. Like, ask me about it, I'm like, do you not think that's a selfish thing? And I was thinking of what way to explain it to a person that hasn't felt like that, does not know how it feels. And I thought, something every day, somebody might have toothache. So, if you have a toothache inside your mouth, it is hurting you, it is painful, you do not know when that pain is going to stop. You can only see one option. I'm pulling this tooth out. You're not thinking in that moment, what's mum going to feel if I pull this tooth out? What's my brother going to think? What's my friends going to think if I have one less tooth? You just want that pain to stop. And for me, that's what suicide is like. I just wanted that pain within inside me and in my mind to stop. I wanted the voices to stop. But luckily... it's actually a strong way to put it, isn't it?
It is.
Like, I think it's because everyone, he'd probably make fun of me, but everyone struggles with toothache. and will know what it's like to get that fucking tooth out. I don't care if you tie a string to the door, get it out.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very strong message. Like, very good way of putting it, to be fair.
Yeah. Thanks.
But no, it's fucking. I don't know if it's a bad thing to say, but I could sit there and listen to you all night.
And it's 11:15 now.
Do you know, it's just fucking. It's not that. I think it's just because it's so close. Not close to home, but it's just you're here and it's fucking. I think it's just because it's so real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not every day someone comes in and fucking tells you their story.
Yeah.
And the big thing, they're fucking not here to tell you their story. Do you know what I mean? So it's massive that fucking you're here to tell us, and I think it's just. I was just sitting there like I stuck the whole way through it.
I don't know. It's like my best mate. He never got through it. Like people don't get through it, but if you come out and chat, like I think it's fucking a powerful thing to chat. Some people can't, but this might help people.
Definitely. If it did.
100%.
There's always, like, I'll be honest, there's always that stereotype of men can't talk. Like, I have to be hardy. I'll be honest with you, Saturday night I was watching Gogglebox. The stand up to cancer one. Tears.
Oh, yeah.
And I am not joking. I'm not chef. Man a job with knives all the time, knives and fire and everything. I might be an asshole sometimes in the kitchen, like I'll shout and everything. Get home, watch Gogglebox, tears. There's no harm in it.
Not a
No harm in crying. No, definitely not.
Like, my father's anniversary, I was working that whole weekend. Didn't think about it. And I felt a bit iffy, like. And I was like, I couldn't sleep that night. Got up listening to music. I was like, I know what it is. I need this out of me. I sat, put on a song. There's a certain song that reminds me of my dad. Do you know the JCB song? It's Lappy. No, I'm rumbling in my JCB. No,
that song.
No, I don't sing more of it
there. My dad used to take me to when he worked on the sites.
I'd see the JCBs and all that crap.
Yeah, and I sat there and I cried for about a half an hour, and I let that out of me. I got up, sigh of relief. One thing is as well that I've realised, and I've heard this online, and it's so powerful. Like, it's grief. You lose somebody. People are always like, "You're all right. You're all right. Get over it." Life's not about getting over it. It's about learning to live without that person.
Yeah.
Grief is powerful. Grief can be positive, where you can keep that grief inside you, and you can let that person's memory out bit by bit. If you have grief all the time, you always have that person's memory. And this is how I let it out. I listen to the things. I have good thoughts about my father. Like, I think about him when I want to, like, and I'll have these memories always.
I find when I go out to like Sashimi's grave and the parents' grave, I like to go out myself. But when I do cry, the relief when you get under that car.
Yeah.
Do you get that? I get that way relief that when I have the tears out and you're crying for 10 minutes at the grave and when you get under the car, you feel a lot better.
You feel like
so crying is positive too.
Yeah,
100%.
But then it's always men don't cry. Fuck off, man.
Fuck off.
Like, it's a normal thing. It is a normal thing.
You mentioned something when your father died. What did you say when your father died that kind of triggered your drink?
Yeah.
What?
Like, it's as weird as this might sound. As you said, like before, everything happens for a reason. So, if he didn't pass away, sadly, I wouldn't be here telling my story today. And that is, honestly, I would be still on that stool in the bar. I would still be drinking. I would not have known what I have. He passed away. And sadly, alcoholic was born. I was able to realise I don't want the life he had.
That's the story you have, like.
Yeah. But he is watching over me, and I know he is. There is power in that. He's guiding me.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When you said that, it clicked me. Because my father was an alcoholic as well. And when he died, I went the other route. I never did drink in my life.
I know that.
That's
I remember that.
I don't know.
I remember that.
When we were out fucking when you were 18, 19 and, you know.
You never drank?
I would never let anyone, like, fucking, as you say, stop you. You say you still go out to the pub and you're still a young man. I went the other route. From you.
Yeah.
I didn't really tell anyone that before. People ask, "Oh, why do you not drink? Why do you not drinking this?" I always used to say, "You know what? I don't know."
Yeah.
I just never. Mine used to be up at the fucking Rock,
No, you just never drink.
and you used to be 16 or 17 running right way past the fucking London Village or something. I just never did it, and that's probably the reason that I just. When I grew up, I didn't. I just had bad experience. Not bad experience. It's just watching my father as an alcoholic. I just didn't want to be like that.
No,
Yeah.
and that's a good fucking note to go on to.
Yeah.
But as I say, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And I actually never told anyone that before, that that's probably the reason that I don't drink. And as everything happens for reasons, probably the best thing's ever happened to me.
You know,
And as you said, you triggered me again when he says you're young, you're not going to let it stop you from going out.
Yeah.
I didn't let any of that stop me from going out.
Yeah.
Right, do you know what I mean? Like?
I lost my both parents when I was 23, and I went heavy drinking, heavy drugging, but then I had a baby, and that kind of took me off that path.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I wasn't depressed, like, but I just drunk. But it still worked.
Oh yeah.
I never missed work, like.
Yeah.
But it's mad the way it affects people.
It is. It's just the reason too that we wanted this episode to be fucking like try and get it on as soon as possible is because not as it has affected everyone, but it's fucking a big part of me and Marty's life. Do you know? It's fucking massive to us. I think you're actually a bit looking forward to it, to be honest.
Nah, it does. Sure, Shimmy was a big part of my life. Like, I'll never get a best friend like him. Like, he'll never, like, I was the fucking best man a month before he hung himself, like. And that's tight, like.
That's what I thought on straight away. I thought you straight away when he wrote to me. I was like, fuck, like, get it on to fuck, get him on, get talking again. And as you saying, even talking about Shamey, like, it's just fucking,
Nah.
do you know, there's downs, like, but as you say, I just think everything happens for a reason. But from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thanks for coming on and sharing what you just done. Because I'll tell you, I'll not lie to you,
Thanks.
what you done was very fucking brave.
Thanks.
And there's not a lot
I
of
hope it helps him.
and there's not a lot of people out there who do what you done. And if you are out there struggling, fucking listen to this man's story.
Takes any one of us.
Exactly.
There's a light at the end of every fucking tunnel, and that's actually a big. You actually says that to me. One day in the text, there's a light at the end of the fucking tunnel for everyone.
Yep.